I love the salt air as it twists here and there, blowing the foam of the sea in my hair. I love the green waves as they come rushing in, spilling themselves in their own rhythmic din. I love the warm sun as it smiles down on me when I go a-walking on the sands by the sea. Majestic and proud of her supremacy, Hotel Henlopen stands aloof by the sea. Long has she stood thus, coolly inviting, always delighting her guests from the lee. There is nothing so nice as a day at the shore, and they come down in twosomes and foursomes and more. But family outings on the 4th of July are the grandest of picnics. I know it, for I, as a child, was oft-present. I remember so well how I helped with the dishes and bathed Lulabelle, while my dad, whistling softly, hitched up the brown mare, and my dear little mother did up her fair hair. Then off to the beach with much chatter and clatter. How sandy the roads, but that didn't matter. We were bound for Rehoboth, a place hard to reach, but if we grew tired, we could rest flat on the beach. The roar of the breakers, the sound was a thrill. We jumped from the carriage and dashed down the hill. We pulled off our shoes and tucked up our embroideries. Dad just went in his old patched corduroys. The whole day was perfect. No dark cloud marred our fun. It seemed we were home again before it begun. I love the ships which pass Rehoboth. They're of every type and class, from the haughty man-of-war's man to bug-eye with raking mast, from the saucy, puffing tugboat straining at hawsers tight, to the rusty tramp whose binnacle lamp points the course to Bombay's Bight. I love to watch a spot upon the horizon grow to a liner, stately and proud, and a departing sail, spurred by western gale, dissolve into a distant cloud. Ships and sailors and oceans have stirred since the world began. Imagination, pride, and ambition within the breast of man. There is something in the salty ozone and the pure expanse of the sea which cleanses the soul and brings near the goal of peace and tranquility. Rehoboth quietly sits by the sea, sunning herself very placidly, smug in her knowledge of being well-born, easing herself on her laurels well-worn. Her arms seem lifted with languid grace toward the breaking waves of foamy lace, while she rests, not far from the murmuring pine, breathing deep the air of balsam and brine. So, fret of the world, pray pass her by, the peacefulest village under the sky. There's nothing so lovely on star-studded nights as the shadows at play o'er the homes in the heights. Each one seems a setting, a platinum mist, thin-veiled in a fog of dull amethyst. underneath the noisy rumble comes a plea so low and humble that I pause to hear the mumble. Back and forth with froth and bubble, ebb and flow the waters subtle, as she whispers of her trouble, whispers softly, just to me. 'Tis a confidence worth keeping, I feel guilty in repeating, for I know she's softly weeping. But the moon was slyly peeping, knows his love she's shyly seeking, and with impish laughter wreaking, turns her tides away in glee. I like to enter your wide door that swings so cordially. It singes rust with salt sea air, creek hospitality. Your home is one of such content, with such abundant space. Display of arts and flower shows could find no better place. The VIA gives to the town a certain right to boast. It has a yen for ethics, true, as well as tea and toast. If I lived on Dewey Beach, I would buy a coat all made of fur, and cap, and mittens, and overgaiters, and warm wool blankets, and heavy sweaters. For the wind doth blow on Dewey Beach, and it's going to snow someday in June, and the drifts will be so blinding and high, you will have to stay. You cannot get by. Broad, brown shoulders, wide, tanned chest, muscles like boulders, monogrammed breast. That's our lifeguard. What a hand. He deserves it. Saved a man. Oh, come take a stroll on the boardwalk, Rehoboth's outdoor rendezvous. You'll meet the best things of the village, the air, and the sun, and the view. It seems every plank in the boardwalk is spiked with a merry tattoo. For those who stay along by the seaside, trip lightly the whole summer through. The pine tree is not a lowly tree. Its branches, trim and svelte, seem seeking for an opening through the clouds. I've often felt. And though 'tis rooted in a bog, it reaches up and yawn. Oh, the pine tree, loft and lonely, has my heart completely won. Out there, in the early evening, when the day is nearly done, pine needles cast an eerie light, but partly shadow, partly sun. And in this light of dewy eve, 'tis like a guardian, true, a swaying o'er our village dim, the pine tree, sighing for the blue. Oh, lovely lake of quiet waters, deep set in your grassy borders, art thou a finger bowl of dew for the weeping willow and aged yew? Your lilies rare, with perfume sweet, afloat your waters, cool and deep. Are they a gift to passers-by? Then shall I linger till I die. I have a wish. How I hope 'twill come true. I'm wishing sometime I may live out near you. I want to be called by your old dinner bell. I want for long hours to look down your deep well. I want lots of time in your box-bordered path. Sweet pleasures to him whom an old homestead hath. I love the birds of old Rehoboth. They're birds of the land and the sea. From the majestic, soaring bald eagle to the hummingbird, buzzing the bee. Above the waves, the osprey is flapping toward a school of menhaden offshore. In the surf, the gull's scrapping over bits from the ocean's floor. Along the beach, the sandpiper teeters, such a nimble little scamp, he races each wave for the sandflea's grave with never a feather damp. Further from human habitations dwells the yellowleg with plaintive cry, the plover with golden plumage, and the curlew winging high. I love these birds of the sea and the shallows, cleaving the air so gracefully and sure, I smile at the antics of an ace aviator who compares as a rank amateur. I love the song of the lark in the morning, the turtle doves coo at high noon, the thrill of the robin at evening, and the eerie, wild laugh of the loon. At night, after shadows have fallen o'er dune and forest and sea, the croak of the heron from some quiet lagoon has its place in the bird symphony. The whimpering cry of the screech owl and the whippoorwill's complaint is so drear would lull me to rest if 'twere not for a guest whistling whippoorwill back in my ear.